Chapter 4. We're moving on to chapter 4. We are gonna do some algebra together, some more algebra. We started with algebra. We did the like apples and bananas. So that's algebra. Instead of apples, we said X. Instead of bananas, we said Y. So now, what's different? Writing then solving one steps equations for each statement below. Write then solve an equation to determine each number. Verify your solution. 3 times a number is negative 3.6. So you are translating the English words into a math equation. So 3 times a number, what's that? If you were to translate that to math, 3x. Right, so for A, it's just 3x is, what does is mean? Yep, equal. Yeah, equal negative 3.6. Okay, so 3 times something equals negative 3.6. If you don't know any algebra and you're just thinking logically, what is x? 3 times a number would give you negative 3.6. Clear? Negative 1.2. Right, because if you just think logically, 3 times 1.2 would give you that 3.6. Now, mathematically, what do? We just divide. Okay, why do we divide? Because in an equation, only in an equation, when you're trying to solve for something, it means that at the end you want x by itself, you want x equal. That's your final answer. So we have to move that 3 to the other side of the equal sign, and we do inverse operation. Right? So that's what inverse operation means. 3 times x, opposite of times, divide. So when you do negative 3.6 divided by 3, you get that negative 1.2 answer. All right. So let's try a second one. A number divided by 4 is 1.5. So again, translating this into a mathematical equation. A number divided by 4. What should I write? Anna? Divided by 4. Right, yeah. And then is, again, means equal, and then 1.5. Right? So I want x equal to be my answer. So what do I do with this 4 if I need to move it over to the other side? Yep, multiply it because I'm dividing on this side. So inverse operation just means opposite operation. So I'm going to times. So 1.5 times 4, I get 6. Very nice and easy, simple. On your next test, for the chapter 4 test, you can actually check every single answer before you submit your test. How? How do I check if I got the correct answer? Claire? Yeah, you just put your answer back into the original question and see if it makes sense. So putting this in, 3 times negative 1.4 and 1.2 does give me negative 3.6. Subbing my answer back into the original question, 6 divided by 4 does give me 1.5. So I know I got my answers correct. I can know that I got perfect on the test before I mark it. Yes. So in the it does say verify your solution. So it on an actual test, I do want you to write it out. No, you would do 3 times negative 1.2 equals negative 3.6. But these ones are a little tedious because it's just one step. We'll do it for this one, okay? Because these ones are involve 2 steps. So right here, okay, I have this is called a 2-step equation. Okay. Again, I want to solve for D. So at the end right here, I want D equal as my final answer. That's what I want to get to. All right. Before I can get to that, not during the lesson. Okay. we know that we always want to do BandMass, but don't forget because we're solving. So instead of doing BandMass in that order, whenever we're solving, we actually do it backwards. Okay, so I want d by itself, so I know I have to move away the 4.5 and I have to move away that negative 3.2. And then you might be thinking, so which one do I move away first? So because we do BandMass backwards, that tells me I should always move away the adding or subtracting part first. Okay? So 4.5d equal negative 18.5. What's the opposite of minus 3.2? Yeah, plus 3.2. Okay, so then 4.5d equals, what is that? Let me get my calculator. Negative 18.5. Negative 18.5 plus 3.2. We get negative 15.3. Okay, what do I do with that 4.5 now? Eric? Divide it. Yeah, divide it by 4.5. And this is a common mistake that people do as well. They get confused. Whatever you're moving as the dividing, that goes on the bottom. So it's this, and then divided by 4.5. Okay, and you get your answer, negative 3.4. That's your final answer. Okay. Now this is the part where you're asked to certify your answer. So if I do a certification, I'll do it right here. So to certify, okay, I'm gonna do 4.5. Instead of D, I'm saying it's negative 3.4. So when I sub it in, okay, what do I get? If my math is correct, it should give me what? Anna? If my math is correct, the answer that I should get should be, I'm checking my answer, so I sub this back. So if I sub in my answer into the equation, it should give me negative 18.5. It should give me the correct answer. Okay. And if it doesn't, what should you do? Then you did it wrong, right? Alright, so if it doesn't equal, then you want to do the question again because you know you did it wrong. Okay. So let's try B right here. Let's try this one. Okay, am I moving out? Am I moving the 4 first or the 3 first? Vincent? The 3, right? So R over 4 equals 7.2. Instead of plus 3, opposite is minus 3, right? So R over 4 equals 4.2. Okay. And then so Emmy, for the 4, if I were to move it over to the other side, what's the opposite of divide 4? Yeah, times 4. That's right. So R equals 4.2 times 4. I get 16.8. Okay, let's verify. So 16.8 divided by 4 plus 3. If my math is correct, what should it equal? Yep, 7.2. Well, let's see. Is my math correct? 16.8 divided by 4 plus the equal sign and then plus 3, 7.2. Yay! I see what I mean by like you can submit your tests and know that you got perfect before I even mark it. Okay. Example 3, using an equation to model and solve a problem. So a word problem right here. A rectangle has length 3.7 and a perimeter of 13.2. Write an equation that can be used to determine the width of a rectangle. Okay, so let's draw our rectangle. I know that the length is 3.7, 3.7, 3.7. I don't know the width, so what should I call it? Yeah, W or just X. Right? So the key is just getting that variable in there, because without the variable, you have nothing to work with. Right? I know the perimeter is 13.2, so write an equation for this. So, okay, so someone tell me how to set this up. Eric? 13.2 equals 2 open bracket 3.7 plus. Good job. Okay, so you know that the formula for perimeter is this. So P is 13.2. You actually know the perimeter. And then 3.7 plus 3.7 plus the W, which I don't know, plus the W that I don't know. Okay? It's not an equation unless there's an equal sign. Without the equal sign, it's an expression. Okay? So 13.2 equal 3.7 times 2 is 7.4. What's W plus W? Travishan, what's W plus W? 2W. Okay, can you help me solve the rest of this? I want W by itself on one side. So what should I move to the other? Okay, before I move the 2, I have to move the 7.4 first. Now this one looks a little different than up here because my W is on the right side, whereas this one, my variable's on the left side. Does it matter which side it's on? No. Okay. The key is you want to move the other stuff away so that the variable is alone on one side. So, Capuchin, let's keep paying attention. 13.2, what am I going to do with that 7.4? When I move it over to the other side, this is plus 7.4. So when I move it over, the opposite is minus 7.4. Okay, and I get 2W. So 13.2 minus 7.4, I get 5.8 equals 2W. Okay, Ali. All right. So right here, 2 times W. I want to move that 2 over. So what's the opposite of times? Opposite of times, divide. Right, so to move that 2 away, I have to divide. So 5.8 divided by 2, 2.9. Okay, now since this is a word problem, is this a good final answer? Sorry? Therefore statement. I'm not so big on therefore statements, but I'm big on something else. Units. What's my unit here? Centimeter, because it's a length, right? It's my width is 2.9 centimeter. Okay, and then it asks you to verify your solution. How do I verify it? Well, if W is 2.9, then all I have to do is here 3.7 plus 3.7 plus 2.9 plus 2.9, and what should it give me? If my math is correct, 13.2. Ta-da! And again, if it doesn't give you 13.2, you know you made a mistake somewhere here. Especially if you get a negative answer. How do you know it's wrong? Eric? Yeah, any length cannot be negative. Okay, so if you get a negative answer here somewhere, you know you made a mistake. Okay, so sometimes word problems are good because it has to make sense. Okay, Last example. Okay, using an equation to solve a percent problem. So back to like chapter 1 when we did percentage. 7% of a number is 56.7. Can we change this into an equation? 7% of a number. Claire. Oh, okay. I like that. But let's just do the easier way. 7%. Remember back in chapter 1 or 2, I said you have to always change the 7% to a decimal. So as a decimal, it's 0.07 of a number means, yep, uh, yeah, times x, or I'll just do n for numbers. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so this is we actually did this in chapter 2. You just didn't recognize it. You didn't know that you were already doing algebra. Okay, so here that means I'm going to divide it by 0.07, and so I get n. My number is 56.7 divided by 0.07, 810. Okay, and that's it. Okay, so for homework, since you have a test tomorrow, I'm just gonna say pages 2 to 3, just the odd questions. you can do it on Wednesday night instead. Yeah. So the test is tomorrow during the day, and then you can catch up on this homework on Wednesday night. Because actually, you know what? You have a lot of days to do your homework.